Hi everybody, it's Bonkai922 here. Okie dokie. Before I start this review, wait 1 minute. I gotta turn the light on. Here. Just do this. There we go. Get me some light on the situation. Okay. Now, Accel World. Now, yes, I was wrong. It is not 12 episodes. 24. This shit isn't gonna end until September. Wow. September. Yeah, that's holy shit, that's long. So Bonkai 922 is in it for the long haul. All the way up to September. Okay, we'll see how that goes with that. Anyway. This was episode 12, Absolution. Now, I was talking to one of my subscribers, Charver Young. He told me that there was trolling in this episode. I think what he meant was the end. It was. I'm gonna give this. I'm not sure. I'm going to give it a 3.5. Because it did seem like very skewed, this episode. Absolution. Obviously, what happened, as from last week, we saw the armor of catastrophe, silver, chrome, whatever it was called, more or less. Disguised in that armor was Cherry Rook. Part of, say, Scarlet Rain's Red Legion. He had stabbed Yellow Radio. But Yellow Radio was able to get out of that situation somehow. It was flipped and told everyone to get the fuck out. This guy, you know what he did? He was grabbing avatars and just biting their heads off. I was like, what? Oh man, the beginning of this episode was pretty fucking boss. Pretty boss. I actually liked the beginning. The beginning when he was going around and just biting people's avatars' heads off, I was like, holy shit, that's awesome. It's fucking awesome, man. So he's just killing these guys off, and then Senpai is up there, Karaoke Hime. She's battling the armor of catastrophe, Cherry Rook. And she's battling, back and forth. And in Haru, he can't get up and help her because she's actually scared. And she's there talking and saying to him that, you are the opposite of me. I'm scared of what would happen if I won, but you're actually afraid to lose. And she's like, don't be foolish. Don't be foolish. I will never leave your side. No one's going to laugh at you. I will never leave your side. And that's pretty much what she says. And then he's able then to get the courage to stand up and for them to fight. And what ended on happening was, which did not make a lick of sense. Because, what's the point of doing that? What happens is when he obviously gets the courage to fight, and he's able to hit him far. Cherry Rook, he's got the armor of catastrophe, and he knocks him down at one point. Silver Crow, Haru, a blast hits him, but Karaoke Hime pushes him out of the way, and it hits her full blast. And who was it? Nico, Scarlet Rain. And she's like telling him, oh, there are no friends here, there's no allies here, you can't be this naive about it. So you don't trust anybody in this world. So that's what she was referring to. Then she picks up her little gun and she goes over and she says, you better get out of here. Once I'm done with him, I'm coming after you. That's what she tells Haru. So she's being very cold-hearted to him. And then, like, Cherry Rook gets back up and just grabs her. He's squeezing her. And then Senpai is there, and she just tells Haru, go help her. Because she's our friend. You know, that's more or less what transpired there. And then what ends on happening is he goes after, you know, he hits him again. He hits, you know, Cherry Rook. And he decides to leave Cherry Rook. And Scarlet Lane saying, oh, he's going to go log out. So what ends on happening is Haru then gets his wings and he goes after him. It's like, no, you'll be killed, she says. And he says, oh, no, I'll stall for time, he then says. So he's not scared of at all, and he's going to go and he's going to attack this guy. So he goes after Cherry Rook. And Cherry Rook's not really, with that catastrophe armor, Chrome, the silver Chrome, or Chrome, whatever you call it, it gives him the ability to jump really high. But that's not really what's going on here. I mean, it gives him that ability to jump really high. But there's a catch. Because what Haru's trying to do, he's trying to attack him while he's in mid-jump, and he can't. And he doesn't understand why. Until he realizes something. With this armor that he has, what he's able to do is, Cherry Rook, he's able to get this string comes out of his hand, and it attaches itself, this wire attaches itself to different objects. And that's how he was able to devour the other avatars, by using this string coming out of his hand. So, he's doing this back and forth, and then Haru realizes what he needs to do is, he needs to just balls out, run, just fly really fucking fast, and beat the wire. If he can beat the wire, then he can attach himself to it, and just fly him up high. And that's what he ends up doing. He ends up doing that, and he gets Cherry Rook to crash into a building. And then he tries to fly up, but he gets tugged on by him. And that's when, while looking up in the sky, while looking up in the sky, Haru just balls out, goes really high, and then he smashes right on top of Cherry Rook and just hits him full force. And then Cherry Rook, when his mask gets thrown, he's like telling Haru, all I wanted to do was become stronger. Do you understand what that means? And he's like, yeah, I understand what that means, but it doesn't mean, not if it means you have to hurt other people. You have to hurt the other avatars. You cause pain and suffering to others. So he smashes him right in the fucking ground. And, I mean, I think the first half of this episode was epic. Was great. Last week's was better, though. I'm going to say last week's was better. So I'm only giving this a 3.5 because after he crashes and he's, like, defeated, it was, like, anticlimactic. It wasn't really, like... It was good in the beginning. The beginning first half of this episode was fucking awesome. Awesome. The ending of the fight wasn't as good as it could have been. You know? But Haru beats him, pushes him down on the ground, like smashes him. When you see Cherry Rook, he's like, just burnt. He's fucking burnt. Then here comes Nico, and she's got the gun, and she's just, and she tells him, leave it to me now. And she just shoots him, and that's all she wrote about that. And then Neko starts explaining to him how she met Cherry Rook in the real world, what she felt about him, you know, and Cherry Rook was her guardian, and the whole relationship between guardian and protege and everything like that. And she felt really sad, and you know, Haru comforts her to a degree, and she feels relieved by it. Saying you can, and he basically tells her, you can make new friends and so on and so forth. Meanwhile, then Taku and Kuryuki Hime show back up, because they apparently after an hour has passed, you show back up in the world, in that area. So, when Kuryuki Hime tells Neko, I want something, she looks at her and says, sorry. It's like, she's pissed off because the way she said sorry to her, and a whole big thing. But then, what happens after that, the world turns back to normal. What happens is it changes from a big city to like green, grassy mountain areas. So everything's been settled, and they all look on their items list to make sure that the catastrophe armor is completely gone. Like, completely. It doesn't exist anymore. So they look, it's not there, and they decide to leave. Something happens before they leave. Haru hears this voice. I'm still hungry. It says, I'm hungry. He thinks nothing of it. So he follows Taku and they go on the platform to log out. And you hear it again. I'm still hungry. And you see on the back of his armor, where he gets the wings, a red light. So obviously that's, whatever that was, it's something that might be revealed later on. They go home, they go back to the world, real world, and then we get another jump right into this fight Haru has, which was kind of weird. I found that very, very weirdly placed. Like all of a sudden he just shows, he didn't see him fighting again. He's fighting a sniper and he's able to dodge him and he defeats the sniper. And I'm like, that was weird. See, that's why I say the first half of the episode was really good, but the second half was eh. So yeah, this is a 3.5, and basically he defeats the sniper, and then we get him talking to Kuryuki Hime again, saying, she says how he's improved, and he was able to decipher the sniper and everything. And when he goes home, Neko's there again. And, she's there saying that, what happened to Cherry Rook is he moved. I forgot the name of the place he moved. I think it was Fukua? But he moved, and he's no longer going to be a burst linker. But, Haru's basically saying to her, there are all these games I have, all these different online games, the visual games, and you can always go, and she's like, yeah. Saying that, I'm glad that he's no longer a burst linker, and he can be what I was when I first met him, another person anymore. And she gives him cookies. Coke gives him cookies. She's like, you don't want them, and being her Tsunade kind of face, and he's eating them, and as he's eating them, he's crying. I'm like, come on, man. Yeah, he's crying, and she's like, now I'm embarrassed. And that's pretty much how the episode ended. Like I said, 3.5. However, even though I'm giving this a 3.5, don't be fooled. This is 24 episodes. Next episode's actually pretty damn interesting. Guess what? You remember Taku's girlfriend? Guess what? She's going to be in the world. Yes, sirree. I believe that's what's going to happen. I mean, I don't know from the preview, but it seems like she's going to be joining in. So there's more than meets the eye of this show. This is going to last until September. So this is going to be awesome. So you got this show and Sword Art Online. I'm set. Because those two shows are made by the same people. I like them apples, bitches. But yeah, like I said, 3.5 out of 5. It was the beginning was great. The ending, second half of the battle wasn't so, you know. But next one is going to be called, I don't want to spoil too much for people, but the next episode is going to be called Violation. We're going to get a new. Don't want to spoil too much, but I will say this one thing about the next episode. We're going to see another king from a different legion. I'm not going to say which one, but another king from a different legion. But like I said, you know, this show it's got me hooked. I still think it's an awesome show. The only thing I hope for, please don't end like Guilty Crown. Please don't end like Guilty Crown. I will not be happy if it ends like Guilty Crown, man. It's just going to be not good. But not too bad. Could have went a different route for how the battle ended between Haru and Cherry Rook, but still was good. Decent episode, good ending to this, and now we're going to move on to something else. And this is going to get full force. You know, keep the truck rolling. I want more of my Accel world. It's awesome, man. So, like I said, this was Bonkai922. I'll see you guys later. What did you guys thought of this? Comments below. You know the story. Like, comment, subscribe. Looks like the Orphan versus Slayers will be tomorrow. I will see if I can do the OVA of Kenichi, though. We'll see about that, alright? See you guys later.